Hi everyone, Grant K for the Smoke Learning channel. In this set of videos, we're going to go through the media management improvements to Smoke 2017. This should improve your usability experience with Media I/O as well as media organization within the media panel. These enhancements are not footage specific, so you can use your own media to follow along. Firstly, let's start with the general MediaHub setting. In the previous version of Smoke, if you changed any settings within the menus and exited Smoke, when you returned at a later stage, the settings would always return to the defaults. So if you are working on a long-term production, you would always have to recheck your MediaHub settings to ensure new media was imported correctly. In Smoke 2017, the MediaHub settings are now saved on a project basis. Any settings you change, including format-specific settings, will be saved with the project. They will only update when you explicitly change them. In terms of format support, please check the What's New documentation for the list of available format support in Smoke 2017. As a side note, if you are interested in additional formats that are not part of the Smoke 2017 application, you can purchase the Drastic Media Reactor plugin, which will give you even more native format support. Please visit www.drastic.tv for more information about the plugin and purchase options. Now let's look at a very specific type of improvement when it comes to importing audio files. Switch to the format-specific menu and choose the audio file. Ensure you are looking at the audio metadata options. Remember, if you had selected audio in the MediaHub browser, the audio file options would appear in the format-specific options automatically. In Smoke 2017, you can now define a specific frame rate for an audio source. In the previous version of Smoke, the frame rate for the audio-only sources were dictated by the project's frame rate. So if your project was 23.976 frames per second, all your audio would have that frame rate. You can still keep the same behavior by leaving the timecode selection as project. But if you were to choose Select Rate, you can manually choose what frame rate the audio should run at. This will help you immensely by setting the correct frame rate for your media and avoid unnecessary audio time warps. The next MediaHub update can be found in the Export window. I'll select the sequence clip and drag it into the browser to perform an export. Now, when it comes to exporting sequences, you might need to cater for a variety of workflows. For example, you want to publish out the sequence for grading. So you would choose a sequence publish and select a preset that would be applicable to your workflow. One very useful update is that the frame handles can now be included as part of the export for all types of publishing. It used to only be available for source publishing without VFX work. If you published the VFX in the past, everything would get flattened out and no handles would be available. However, now you can specify handles for every shot in the sequence, including the segments with timeline effects and connect effects. So if you need to trim out or adjust transitions between finished shots, you can now have the media handles to do so. The only minor point to take into account is that because you are rendering more frames, your export times may slightly increase. This is to be expected, but this ensures you have enough media for an interoperability workflow as well as a bit of extra flexibility. So that concludes the MediaHub updates, but please remember to check the release notes for new format support and other additional MediaHub functionality that may not be covered in this video. In the next few videos, we'll examine some of the new enhancements to the media panel. Comments, feedback, and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the Smoke Learning channel for future videos.